Guys, I'm back from my holiday in Fuerteventura. It was really nice, and the first 4 or 5 days I was wiped out, so I really needed it. Loads of good food, like I said, a lot of rest. I went surfing, which was really cool. Just spent some time with the family and really switched off. I didn't completely do nothing. We had a swimming pool in the villa we were staying at, did a lot of work in the pool, did a little bit of road running and just kind of like moving the body a bit each day, but yeah, just kind of relaxed. Didn't fast, which was nice, so I put a bit of timber on, which I felt in the gym. Yesterday was my first session back, so it was an interesting one. I wasn't too bad actually, just my back. I think I realised that obviously because I was doing some work and moving around, because I was doing no impact, like my back just lost that a little bit. And yesterday I was like, wow, God, I can really. It makes you appreciate just how much we're putting through our body, you know, when we're doing this gymnastics day in, day out. But yeah, amazing time away, and that kind of like bookended the first phase of the year, the first kind of part 1 of 2019, which is really nice, and I'm kind of now moving to the next chapter. So just to give you an idea of what the next kind of phase looks like, I've got about a month of doing skills and getting my fitness up, really building that, doing some strength work and kind of building the foundations of what my program's going to look like in the next 3 to 4 months. So my next competition is not for a long time, it's in August, the end of August, at British Teams, but I've got a really cool competition kind of exhibition thing coming up in July, which I'm going to tell you guys about in a few weeks, which is really exciting. Like, I'm super excited to be doing it. It's a crazy concept, it could be amazing. So that's going to be really cool. But yeah, today, getting back into the swing of things. I don't think we've ever recorded a Monday session, and Mondays for me are all about kind of preparing my body for the week. So I do a lot of basics, a lot of kind of technique stuff. I normally don't twist, and I do just kind of double straights without the twists to kind of prepare the head mentally for the week ahead. So yeah, that's the plan today. I'm excited to be back in the gym, back with the boys. I know Pav's got some comps coming up, so he's on the routine grind I think today. I'm miles away from that right now, so yeah, it'll be nice to see them because I haven't seen them train for a couple of weeks, and yeah, looking forward to the day. Normally if I was going to do that preparation session, I would do it to like high level mats. Because it's just my first session back, I just want to get used to pounding the floor, and my body's probably going to be in bits tomorrow. It feels good today, but tomorrow it's probably going to be in bits. And what I've been doing recently, kind of in the lead up to the British and the English, I was doing fast track on a Monday, so I was taking the impact away. So I was only doing floor on a Wednesday and a Friday when I have the routines. Whereas what I'll probably do now, because I'm looking to build up my load tolerance again, is put the floor back in on the Monday, probably for the next 4 weeks-ish, and then I'll switch back again to fast track, because the fast track is more about technique and awareness and concentrate a little bit more on the finer details. So that's probably the plan with floor in terms of my sessions throughout the week. Will probably go up from 2 to 3. Gotta be really careful first kind of week and a half back that I don't overdo the load. Naturally, you know, I've not been training 5 hours a day, I haven't been fasting as strictly, so I want to put on a little bit more weight, so that's more pressure going through all my joints, so especially on pommel, I've got to be careful with that. So I woke up hungry this morning, back on the fast, meditating at me and my stomach rumbling. The 3-day clean fast and 30-minute stint in the sauna. Normally just do 15 in the sauna. I didn't make it last night, I pushed it out. I reckon I got to about 23 minutes and I was like, that's me, I'm gone. Gymnastics news for you. Greatest gymnast of all time, Uchimura. Struggling a little bit at the minute. Got a shoulder injury. I think they had their national championships last week and he finished 41st. Just shows you how tough this sport is. That's the greatest gymnast of all time. Struggling. And even him himself, he admitted in an interview afterwards that he realised that it's going to be difficult to make that team for Tokyo, which is, it's kind of weird hearing him say that actually. Everyone kind of thinks of him as superhuman, but it just shows how tough this sport is, you know. You can be the best in the world, but a couple of mistakes and that's it. But on the flip side of that, it shows how someone can just put a good run together, have a few good competitions, get some confidence, works the other way as well. So yeah, interesting times for sure. Credit a lot of my, relatively decent level of success on pommels so far this year. A lot of it to that exercise. It looks easy. It's 50 circles, but doing it completely tight and stretching out my shape is really hard. Harder than doing it on handles. Because on the handles, you can dip your feet at the bottom and the back. Makes it easier to flow. You don't have to hold on so much. On the pommel, on the mushroom rather, if I drop, my feet touch the floor and it stops my momentum, so I've got to keep it up. So I do that set every single Monday. New handguards. Big shout out to Elite Gymnastics UK. Now they don't pay me, I actually just really like these handguards. This is the first time in ages I've not worn my guards till they rip, so I can have a spare pair on the go, which is pretty cool. You would have thought 19 years of gymnastics I would have learned my lesson, but still. Best thing about these guards is, literally the first day, I can straight away pretty much do all my skills in them. Whereas with my high bar guards, which take a month to get everything. The main thing I've got to be careful with on P-bars, after having a break, is my hands. So over the years and years of training, my hands got tougher and tougher. And they have they're almost like leather. But it doesn't take long for them to go soft, so the amount of time I had off, oh nice, the heaters are off, 10 days, just about on the edge. Any longer and they get really soft, the skin started coming off anyway. So these first few days I've got to be really careful because I'm obviously carrying a little bit extra weight, and there's normally two main reasons that you rip and you get a blister. First one is that your hands are soft, so that's my case right now because I did a lot of swimming as well, so the water's made them softer. And the other one is that once they are back to normal, you let the dry dead skin build up for too long, so you get a little bit of a lip, and that's when, if you do too much training, it pulls on the skin and you get a blister. So I'm hoping to try and get to the end of this week without taking any of this skin off because they're quite soft. And there's some quite big lips on here where my high bar guards get me in particular. So I've just got to be really smart and just judge it, just do the right amount of goes before I leave it before next week. Normally I would use a scalpel to take the skin off once a week, so on a Monday take all the skin off ready for the week, and then the next Monday I do the same thing. Pretty good, you know. Do you know one thing I'm going to miss when I've finish. It's not so much like the final kind of like competition when everyone's in great shape. It's when people are just starting out and you look over to the other end of the gym and someone's like lying on their back on the pommel. It's that struggle. That struggle is what makes it worthwhile. It makes the highs twice as good, you know, when you've really like worked hard. If you want to say you're welcome in Japanese, doita.
Tuita.
Doita.
Doita.
Shima.
Shima.
Shite.
Shite.
Doita shima shite.
Doita shima.
No, shima shite.
Shima shite.
Doita shima shite.
Oh, doita shima shite.
No, shima shite.
Shima shite.
Yeah, say it slowly. Doita shima shite.
Shima shite.
It's quite hard.
Shima shite.
But it's the polite way to say it.
Yeah, it's good.
Doita shima shite. I've got to say, the comments we've been getting recently on the videos have been really good, man. Really good. I always try my best to get back to you before the next video comes out. One girl actually asked last week, she was like, is the Lukin journey over? Like, is that it? It's been put on hold. I definitely feel like that chapter's not closed. I want to sign that off. I've been doing a little bit of digging, asked a couple of people about the skill a little bit, what kind of goes through their head in the process of doing it and stuff. It's interesting actually, when I went to message a guy who has now kind of got it on lockdown, I had an old message from him when we first started recording the Lukin journey, and he was saying, oh, I'm struggling with the same thing, like, and he's obviously kept at it. 6 months later, he's connecting it and it's really good, but he says I still struggle with the same kind of thing, just that twisting early. So that was really cool actually to see that. But yeah, definitely some unfinished bit. I just feel like I need to sign that off and tick that box. Whether I compete or not, I don't think I probably will, but I just I want to know that I can go to bar. I don't like having something like nagging away at me that I can't do and I'm scared of. Because for me it's not about like being like the skill and put it in my routine. It's something that I'm legitimately scared of. It scares me. So I want to kind of conquer that fear almost. I can't believe how much like impact when we do gymnastics.
Yeah.
It's the only thing. Everything else is pretty good. My body, just my back. I can't believe it. Like 10 days no bouncing.
Yeah.
And my back's like, what are you doing? Oh, it's crazy. I am convinced that if I didn't do gymnastics, I'd be like a good inch taller. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, not bad. Thought it was going to be really painful. I love this exercise, man. Just like that.
Yeah.
On the top of like your neck bit, and then just one side. Oh, it's good.
Next apart.
Yeah, I can't do that, so. Oh. If I can do that when I'm your age, I'll be happy. Oh, a bit late. Oh, Miss Andy said.
Yes, me too. I don't know why, but I just thinking a few times, last few days about Andy. Yes, it's good company for you, for training, for Liz. Close friend, yes. his wife, and you train him from young age, always.
He's a special guy. I've not met many people where when you're around this person, it makes you feel good. He makes you feel better. I don't know why. It's strange. It's just natural. He doesn't have to do anything special. But when you're with Andy, you like relax and feel happy and like miss him, man.
It's good. Yeah.
So the next kind of phase is quite a big, hefty phase, the summer phase of training, leading up to those competitions. And like I said, I've got about 4 weeks of doing just very basic fitness stuff, working on basics, doing a lot of dismounts without twists, stamina work, endurance work, almost building up my load tolerance. And then this first phase is going to be kind of, and this is part of that phase. It eats into it. This is the base layer, the foundations. This is where I'm going to build my body up so that it's robust enough to take the loading of doing a preparation for a competition. So here it'll be like, I'll be doing a lot of work in the S&C gym, a lot of strength. This is the period to do that and really up it and do more than I normally would. Because then once I get to here, kind of foundation stage, it'll cross over a little bit. So I'll still be doing quite a lot of S&C and weight stuff. But here's going to be about doing lots of combinations, lots of elements, starting to do half routines, like a lot of half routines, and just building up the numbers on the apparatus. So to get to this stage and get out of it in a good, physically be in a good way, this phase is really important. I've got to build that base and that foundation. And then when we move into the volume, that's when I start routines, and it's just about numbers. So I get to the stage where I come in and physically I might feel like shit, but I can still do the routine and I can still put the work out. And that phase, that volume phase, lasts for about 4 to 6 weeks. And then the final kind of like tip of the iceberg is like the last kind of 2 weeks really before the competition, the first competition. So that last week will be all about working on stuck landings, working on like the small leg splits, where can I make that difference at the end. So this is kind of how we map it out, me and Sergey. This is what it looks like. So I've really got a month to decide, okay, what routines do I want here? I've pretty much in my head got 4 or 5 out of 6 routines that nailed down. That's what I want. It's just a couple of pieces where I'm like, is that going to be ready? Do I want to do that right now? What's my tactics in terms of like, because it's a crazy thing. It's like playing chess, doing all around gymnastics. Like, you don't want to, sometimes you can go across the board quite even in terms of your difficulty, or you can spike it on 1 or 2 apparatus and go a bit lower. So it's just working almost a strategy out. But yeah, that's what it's going to look like. I'm really excited. Decent little session today. I said I wanted to do like a full Monday session. Realistically, pommel and bar were pretty close to that. The other 2 just not quite there. So again, tomorrow I'll come back in, try and do the same thing, try and get as close to a Monday session as possible. And then this weekend we've got the body power. So by the time this episode comes out, we'll be editing body power, which is going to be awesome. I'm really excited for you guys to see that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.